When Sarah received the golden invitation to the elite masquerade, she instantly went shopping for the party. The venue was full of the city's most glamorous figures, all masked and mysterious. But there was something odd about the guests, too perfect, too still. As the clock struck midnight, the host approached her. His mask slipped slightly, revealing hollow skeletal eyes. "Welcome to the other side," he said as the room full of guests began to cheer, their voices echoing through the empty halls. Too late, Sarah realized she wasn't invited to a party, but to the afterlife. Strangers are creepy. Late one night, Sarah saw a figure standing in the dark outside her house. She thought it was just her imagination until the figure started to move closer. She panicked, turned on her flashlight. Her window was open. She jumped towards it and closed it in time. Because when she did, a huge man banged on that window. Terrified, she ran inside and hid in the bedroom. Called for help. Before the police arrived, she heard whispers coming from her bedroom window. "How long can you hide?" If your selfies sometimes feel like they're hiding secrets, you're in for a chill. Noah loved taking selfies. On a trip to an old fort, he snapped a picture near a rumored haunted spot. Later, while editing, he saw someone behind him, a figure with hollow eyes. But when he checked his gallery, that photo was gone. That night, his phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. It was the same photo, but now the figure was smiling, and closer. I pray that what happened to Rahul never happens to me. It was late at night. Rahul was studying in his hostel when he got a call. It sounded like his mom, asking when he would visit her. Rahul was confused. He said, "But we just met yesterday." Silence followed. And then his mom's voice said, "I'm not talking about her." The line disconnected. When he called back, his real mom picked up, saying she hadn't called him at all. Just then, his door creaked open. Ever felt eyes on you when you're alone? Tara noticed a new follower on her private Instagram account. The profile had no posts, just a profile picture of a girl who looked eerily like her. Curiosity got the better of her, so she messaged the account. No reply. The next day, the profile updated. This time with a picture of Tara's bedroom. Panic set in. How did they get that photo? That night, as she lay in bed, a notification pinged. The account had posted a video. It was Tara, sleeping. The caption read, "Watching you." Her blood ran cold. She wasn't just being followed online. She was being stalked in real life. Who was this person? And how far would they go? Be careful who you let into your virtual world. They might already be in your real one. Crazy exes are always a pain in the ass, especially the ghostly ones. Sophie was drawn to a handsome man at a masquerade. Their passion flared, but something felt off. After a few dates, she decided to call it off. When she got home, she felt like someone was following her. The next day, his stuff started showing up in her house. And her phone was buzzing all day. Sophie called back and threatened him with the police. He laughed and said, "Laws are for the human, honey." How much would you risk for the perfect love? Maya, who was a romance novelist, fell for a fan who sent her love letters. Their passion was intense until the letters turned dark. He spooked her out. When she tried to break things off, she found roses filling her home, and his name written in blood. He started to spook her out, his words becoming more sinister. She tried to stop it all, but the letters kept coming. Each one more terrifying than the last. When your delivery arrives late, sometimes it brings more than just food. A man had ordered a pizza late at night. He was annoyed already because the pizza arrived after the promised time. He opened the door and saw that the delivery boy looked disturbingly old, his uniform tattered, face wrinkled. Confused, he glanced at the receipt. It was dated last week. Heart pounding, the man looked at him. Delivery boy leaned in closer and whispered, "You forgot to tip me last time." Lisa refuses to talk further. "This is all I know about that night. She had an affair with a man. She said he was hot, and things escalated. He started visiting her when her husband wasn't home. But one day her husband Ron walked in on them. Ron didn't shout, he just smiled, closing the door behind him. "I've been watching you two," he whispered, pulling out a knife. "Subscribe to get new stories every day." Every night at midnight, Emily received a phone call from an unknown number. At first, it was just silence. But then she began to hear her own voice, pleading for help. Confused, she tried to trace the calls but found no clues. One night she answered, and heard a chilling whisper, "I'm right outside." Terrified, she looked out the window but saw nothing. The next day, she discovered a newspaper article about herself. Apparently, she had run away from an asylum and killed 2 people. Who was calling her from beyond? Subscribe to get new stories every day.